What's up with it, bro?
What's up? Chilling. Peace to the gods. Peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How you feeling today? Let's say that first.
Yeah, feeling good, man. You know what I'm saying? Good energy. Definitely good energy.
Yeah. But for those who don't know who you are, introduce yourself, let them know.
Okay, I'm one half of the Trak Starz Producer duo out of St. Louis that's, known for Chingy. Success. That was our main success, but I did things, before the Trak Starz. But people would know us currently for the Trak Starz, which, produced Chingy, did the deal with DTP, with Shaka Zulu being our manager, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Gotcha. Now you, like you said, kind of did things before, musically, before you, I guess gained the notoriety with, with Chingy and situation and everything. But before we get into all that, just get to know you a little bit more. What part of St. Louis did you come up in?
Well, basically, as a kid, we lived in the north side, like, over like in the Alcott area. Now that's when I was little, because I don't claim to be no super hood dude. Like, I grew up in the city, so when we were little, that's where we stayed when we was like super little. Like, but as we got older, we migrated out to North County, which would be like the Hazelwood area, because I went to Hazelwood Central High School. So from leaving from the north side when we were younger to there, that's pretty much where we moved to and settled. Pretty much for the rest of my life at that point.
Yeah. How would you describe St. Louis during that time when you was coming up?
You mean as far as like the music, right?
No,
or just period.
Just the city, like the city in general.
Well, to me, it was a lot of the same things you see now, but with no social media. You had gangs, you had fighting, stealing, robbing. Everything you see growing up in the inner city, you see today was back then. But the only difference to me is that it was more magnified. It's more magnified now, because of social media. But to me, it was the same, pretty much. I mean, it's the same thing. Of course, things have changed as far as codes of what we call the streets and certain disrespect. But to me, it was pretty much the same energy. Because we seen the same things that a lot of these kids are seeing today growing up.
Let's say history repeats itself. Right?
Repeats itself, absolutely.
The only thing, like you said, the difference is it's more in your face now, the social media, and you can, you can get in a whole rabbit hole about that. But
yeah, and then everybody reporting everything.
That's what I'm just
so
say, yeah.
When we grew up, you heard it was isolated incidents that you would hear about, but we didn't know about every single thing. Now, you got people that got pages, just dedicated to that. My cousin, Amina, like she's one of the owners of Real STL News. So now you have different outlets outside of the news that's capturing everything, that's magnifying the violence. But it's always been here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, how was your household growing up? You have any siblings or anything like that?
Yeah, I got 2 brothers and 3 sisters. So I grew up in a basic family, middle class. We wasn't poor, but we wasn't rich either. Like we was right on the cusp of in between. So it was pretty cool. It was my dad who transitioned in 2017. Around that time or whatever. Like he was real influential in my career, like helping me buy equipment. He was a musician himself, and his brother was a jazz musician. That lived in California. He's still out there to this day. So I came from a musical background in my family, so he was always supportive of that.
Gotcha. Now, I heard you say that you started off in the city and you ended up moving out to Hazelwood, and I would assume that you went to Hazelwood Central High.
Yeah.
Did you graduate?
Nah.
Nah,
and I ain't one of them people that's ashamed, to talk about that. Like, I believe it was my sophomore year I dropped out.
Uh-huh.
I had it made up in my mind. I'm gonna do music. I don't want to go to school. And I think at that time, was my cousin KP, who I was in a group Out of Order with.
Uh-huh.
I think we all pretty much dropped out around that same time. So, yeah.
Let's get into that. Like, I guess during that time, music was on the rise. So you felt comfortable. Like, this is gonna be my life. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I just felt.
That's why you made that decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just felt the calling for it, and I'm not one of those people too, that downplayed education in school. I researched a day, and I was always into intellect, but it was just a calling to something I felt, and at that time I wasn't resonating. I mean, things wasn't going right. From Hazelwood Central, when I left Hazelwood Central early, I ended up going to another school in Maplewood. It was like more of a private type of school. That didn't work out, so it was just like several things I was spinning to until I got to the point where I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm shutting this down. I'm gonna go music full time. So that's how that was.
Yeah.